The midnight train was unusually quiet. It rattled through the desolate plains of Cambodia like a cold iron ghost moving through the dark fields. I sat alone in the very last carriage. Above me, the dim yellow bulbs hummed and flickered, casting long, distorted shadows that crawled like ink across the rusted walls. Outside the window, there was nothing but an endless, suffocating void. As the train groaned and entered a deep mountain tunnel, the glass window turned into a perfect, dark mirror. My breath caught in my throat. In the reflection, a woman was sitting directly behind me. Her long, matted black hair hung over her face like a shroud, and her skin was the color of wet ash. Terrified, I whipped my head around, but the seat was empty. There was only the cold, stale air of the cabin. When I looked back at the glass, she was no longer sitting. She was standing, her body bent at an unnatural angle, leaning over my shoulder. Her dress was tattered and dripping with dark, stagnant water that began to pool around my feet. I tried to scream, but my voice was trapped, frozen in my lungs. She slowly raised a thin, skeletal finger and pointed toward the floor, where the water was turning into thick, black mud. Then I felt it, a freezing breath against my neck, the smell of rotted wood and ancient rain. A voice, hollow and ancient, whispered into my ear, "I have waited 50 years for someone to take my place. The bridge didn't just break, it swallowed us whole." Suddenly, the train screeched, the metal screamed as it came to a violent, crushing halt. The doors groaned open. There was no station. We were perched on the edge of a collapsed, rusted bridge over a black abyss. I looked at the window one last time. The woman was gone, but the reflection looking back at me was a monster. My skin had turned to gray stone. My clothes were rotting away. My eyes had dissolved into empty, lightless voids. The train began to tilt into the darkness, and I realized with horror that this journey would never